Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covers. Three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Number 4, Armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for the King of Sportscast here on the B Plus. It's the day we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, all the promotions that make up the King of Sports family. Joining me, of course, Big Boy Mikey. How are you, Big Boy?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I am good. I heard your first ever Loco por Lucha Libre podcast today.
Yeah, it's out finally. It's been in the works in my head and on paper for about 8 weeks. Finally glad
Just
it got
constantly in the messages, and I'm like, just do it, man. Just do it.
Finally,
I'm like Shia LaBeouf over here. Do it.
that's a name I haven't heard for a while.
He's around. He's like protesting Trump or something, I think, isn't he?
Huh.
He got like bullied by 4chan with a flag. They kept tracking down his flag or something. I didn't follow it that closely, but it looked hilarious.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just I'm glad that it's out. I found a good partner for it. So
Yeah. So does that mean now that you're talking CMLL over on Loco por Lucha Libre? Does that mean that you won't be talking CMLL here? Or I feel like we could still pull out like major highlights or big news stories, right?
yeah, for any like sort of like title changes or the bigger moments, yeah, we can keep it in. But I'll go into depth more on that cast. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Having you able to do a back and forth with someone else who is actually watching it makes it so much better for me as a listener. Even just I felt like I learnt more than I do when I sit here on the receiving end and I'm sitting here wanting to give input, but not really knowing the characters or the ins and the outs makes it harder. You know?
yeah, and I even mentioned that on the first cast. So I'm like, I have a feeling sometimes when I talk about CMLL with Greg, it's like I really respect that you love this, but I don't really understand a lot of these names. But
It
good
makes
on you.
zero sense to me. About 80% of the time, it makes zero sense to me. But I mean, you introduced me to Cabernario and stuff like that. It's been good, but it's just I kind of glaze over sometimes because I'm like, when did that? It's really good to listen to you and Liam talk about it because it feels way more informative than I would ever be able to do. So people, if you like hearing Mikey talk about the CMLL stuff and you're like, Greg's the worst, and you want to hear someone who can actually give a little in those sort of situations, Liam from Edinburgh is fantastic. And he stepped in and he's doing the Loco por Lucha Libre cast with us here at the B Plus with Mikey. So that's a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. Let's get into some news for the week before we do. The main meat and potatoes of this episode is going to be a look at the G1 Supercard. There have been a few other things happened. The road to G1 Supercard happened in Ring of Honor. I have not had a chance to watch it. My Honor Club subscription has lapsed. I need to get that fixed up, but probably won't be able to till after Mania season. So I have not yet watched Road to G1 Supercard. There are other ways to watch it. I don't encourage that, but I'll do it and I'll let you know how it was. Just pay attention to my Twitter. And I've just perjured myself. But, so we're mostly going to talk Road to G1, but there's a couple of news stories that we thought we'd bring up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which one do you want to start with, mate?
What about, there's been a few contract situations. Kenny King has announced a 2-year contract with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, which good for Ring of Honor, good for Kenny King. I kind of thought he'd be one of those talents that AEW might try to swoop in. Usually the idea is NXT will usually come for someone like that. I think he would have been someone that AEW would have liked to have had on their roster. I think it's something a little bit different for them.
See, I don't think so. I think because AEW, the catchword for AEW is fresh, and I don't really think, when I think of fresh, I don't really think of Kenny King.
Yeah, fair enough. But no, good on Ring of Honor for keeping him around. New Japan, though, have let 2 people go, as we've seen now. The biggest one being Mikey Elgin. Michael Elgin's sort of been around the New Japan stuff for about a good 4 or 5 years now, and been a part of a lot of G1s, a lot of New Japan Cups. I guess, unfortunately, controversy has caught up with Elgin a little bit too much over the last year or two, and, New Japan have sort of, it's horrible to say, but kind of replaced him with Cobb, in my opinion, as that big Western unit that New Japan just love to have. I think Cobb's taken that spot, and I don't think there's much room for Elgin.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's, I think, look, it makes sense. We knew he wasn't going to be long for. Like, I'm pretty sure when we talked about the whole situation back in our early days as a baby podcast, pretty sure we said that when contract time comes out, he's probably just not going to get a renewal. They'll just quietly let him go.
Yeah. And then a young lion that I'm not familiar with has also been let go. Teruaki Kanamitsu has officially left New Japan too. So if you're a Kanamitsu fan, I had no idea about him, to be fair.
No, I'm not familiar.
I'm sort of keeping my eye on more of the other young lions like Shota Umino and Yuya and all those sort of guys. But yeah, Kanamitsu also gone from New Japan. So yeah, a couple of little contract things there, I guess. Touch on. But speaking of contract and hiring and firing, New Japan LA Dojo has also announced some camp dates and application open. So, yeah, Kanamitsu leaves as a young lion, but New Japan are trying to get some new ones in their LA Dojo. So, be interesting.
Yeah, May 27, 28, 29, 30. If you're a wrestler and you're in LA or heading to LA or able to head to LA, it's $400 for the 4-day camp, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You're working with Shibata,
Yeah, Shibata, and looked like there's been a couple of other sort of visitors lately. I saw a photo of TJP with Shibata there.
Rocky Romero does a lot of work there as well.
Yeah, I think Scorpio Sky also does some work there.
Oh, wow, I wasn't aware of that.
He did. Yeah. Now he's with All Elite, probably not. But yeah, no, it's awesome. I'm pretty sure that both Ricky South and the Velocity, I think Jude and Paris, I think they all went to a dojo camp date as well.
I know Tommy Knight from here in Adelaide has done LA Dojo as well. So
it's a good thing. Like, even like you're not 100% gonna make the cut. It's always a good learning experience to go over and attempt that. So
yeah, absolutely. But that's pretty much all the news. Let's jump straight into the G1 Supercard. Like I said, there was the Road to G1 Supercard, which we didn't watch, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the actual Supercard coming up this weekend. Probably going to be a relatively quick one. We're just going to go through each of the matches and sort of, talk about what's gone into them and what we think is going to happen and give some predictions and stuff.
Yeah.
So do we start at the main event? Do we start at the opener? I'm going to look at the Wikipedia page and look at the card here. Where do you want to start? Top or bottom?
No, we'll start at is the bottom the top? No, yeah. Like
bottom, top, bottom, top. Start with the Honor Rumble.
Start with
the Honor Rumble, which is kind of like the pre-show, right?
Yes.
And this is going to be the get everyone on the show match.
Right, and unfortunately, as of recording this at 6:48 p.m. on a Tuesday night, we only know of 6 entrants. 6 entrants have been announced, 1 by New Japan, 5 by Ring of Honor. The 6 that have been announced are the legend and retiring Jushin Thunder Liga, potentially his last visit in USA, still a little bit of time to go, which would be cool. Kenny King, PJ Black, Beer City Bruiser, Brian Malonis, and Cheeseburger have all been announced for the Rumble. Of course, Cheeseburger's in a pre-show Rumble for a New Japan Ring of Honor Super Show. He's a king. He's a king of Wrestle Kingdom bloody Rumbles
with his mentor Liga as well, Jushin Thunder Liga. So,
absolutely.
There'll be some interactions there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is going to have a lot more names that are left off the card. I mean, before we start diving into the cards, half of Suzuki God's not even in there, so I'm guessing people like Sho, Yo, Desperado, Kanemaru, who else is
what about Minoru Suzuki himself?
Well, we'll touch on him a little bit later. I think there's still something there. Ishii, Tenzin, Kojima, all these sort of guys. There's going to be so many names in this. At the start, I'm like, how do they get 30 people in this Rumble? I don't think they're going to get it. Now I'm like, I think there's too many. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that our Aussie Bullet Club representation of either Robbie or Gino or both are in there. Gino has been in a pre-show Rumble on Kingdom. Robbie is in New York City that weekend, so we're hoping. Well, he's there.
We know he's there. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Hashtag Robbie Eagles for MSG.
Absolutely. But yeah. I mean, without knowing the rest of the entrants, who do you think would win a Rumble like this? What's your kind of
man? Without knowing the entrants, it is very, very hard.
Yeah.
Do we even know the stakes? Are they getting a title shot? What happens for the winner?
No, I mean, I know it's a different show, but for the pre-show Kingdom Rumbles, it's always just been a fun Rumble with no real...
Yeah, so it feels like that's what it is. It's just they've moved it from Wrestle Kingdom to this G1 Supercard.
Yeah.
And so there's no stakes, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure who you have win this.
Well, I'm going to take an early guess without the other names. If Liga was pre-announced so early, and this being a very special year for Liga, he might not win it. There's 29 other options. I'm going to go with Liga just for that, maybe a nice little send-off for him as a Rumble winner. I don't know. Out of the 6 that have been announced, he makes the most sense so far.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of not announced, I'd like to see Ishii get a win in the Garden.
Yeah, Ishii or Goto, maybe Taichi, something like that.
Yeah, or Goto. Not so much Taichi. But then we'll move on. Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, winner takes all. Such an interesting stipulation. Winner takes all for both the Never Openweight and Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I can't pick this one, man. Like you got the Never Openweight title. Will Ospreay, looking to elevate that title. Jeff Cobb on an absolute tear in Ring of Honor. He's an absolute monster, undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't pick a winner.
My winner is going to go from my heart, and that's going to be Ospreay. But,
I want Ospreay to win for sure, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, but I also don't see Cobb taking the Never Openweight title already. I mean, he's had one, but for about a week.
The first reigns are always short.
Yeah, true. I mean, either way, but it's interesting to see how they're going to do these winner takes all, because there is another one later in the night we'll talk about. It's interesting how they're going to do it. Like, it feels like it's not, but it feels like New Japan and Ring of Honor kind of trying to merge some of their titles in a weird way, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But I mean, Ospreay and Cobb are both Ring of Honor and New Japan contracted guys in a way. I think Ospreay has a side Ring of Honor deal. But yeah, it's too hard to pick in terms of form because both of them deserve both titles. But my heart says Ospreay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I feel like Jeff Cobb has been on such a tear with Ring of Honor that they can't really have him lose the World Television Championship. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, I mean, it's a winner-takes-all match, but it's not no disqualification or anything. I would not be surprised to see some clusterfuckery. I think the tag team match, obviously, we're going to end up with one team walking out with the titles. But I think with this one, we may see them both walk out with their own titles, whether it's a time limit draw, whether it's a double count out, or something, some chicanery to make sure both guys keep their titles and stay protected.
Actually,
which, I mean, you don't want to see that happen. But I feel like this is where it will.
Yeah, well, actually, thinking about that, I don't think it will in the opening match. I know the Rumble's the pre-show. the opening match, Ospreay Cobb, probably should go for a Meltzer 5-starer. But if there were to go for a storyline booked thing, there is that Tai Chi Will Ospreay rivalry thing going on for the Never title. So maybe Tai Chi and some of the Suzuki Gun boys ruin this match, and like you said, ends in a sort of down the line there. But I'm gonna stick with Ospreay winning both titles. I'm gonna stick with that. I believe Ospreay and Cobb will put on a fantastic opening match if it ends up being the opening match. I mean, we're reading this from a Wikipedia, so it's not exactly 100% locked in that that's the opening match.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got cage match open and all these sorts of things as well, but it's just yeah. I don't know. Looking forward though, we do have Roosh versus Dalton Castle.
Roosh.
Now, that's what I said. I said Roosh.
I don't know. No. I just jumped in.
Oh, you're doing a pick, right?
Oh,
you're picking Roosh to win. Yeah, Dalton Castle's a shell of a man at the moment.
Yeah.
And Roosh has not really been impressive in his time in Ring of Honor so far. Sorry to say, I know you're a Roosh fan, but he hasn't been impressive in his time in Ring of Honor, and so I feel like this is a piss break match, to be honest with you.
How dare you? No.
Sorry,
No.
I'm sorry. It's Dalton Castle's a shell of a man, and Roosh has not been impressive, so I'm not paying attention to this match. I mean, they could win me over. Who knows?
Yeah. I think Roosh should put it on. He knows how to put on a big show when he needs to. Look, I personally, like, I've seen some of the highlights of Ring of Honor. I know Roosh as a CMLL guy. I know as a Ring of Honor guy. I've got to get my head around that and watch some of his Ring of Honor stuff. But Roosh is a fantastic talent. He should, and Dalton Castle as well is a fantastic talent when he needs to be. This should be better than expected, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Roosh to win this anyway. I don't think this will get more than 10 minutes, but yeah, Roosh should be able to win this quite easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, because Roosh they're building him up, so that would make a lot of sense. Mayu Iwatani is going to be defending her title against Kelly Klein. Kelly Klein getting another rematch for the Women of Honor World Championship. I got to think that Kelly Klein wins it back here.
Okay. I'm going to stick with Iwatani retaining. I just feel like they put a little bit of stock into her lately, so I think.
Yeah, and she's got a deal with them that she's going to be there for a while with Women of Honor, but Kelly Klein is kind of their creation, and I feel like they don't want her to up and leave to All Elite Wrestling or anywhere else that may be interested in her. Like I said with Kenny King, I don't think they'd be interested in him because he's not necessarily fresh. Kelly Klein is fresh. Not a lot of people talk about Kelly Klein, and she's good. So I feel like Ring of Honor need to keep her happy and she was their pet project, and it was weird to me that they took the title off her when they did, and it kind of felt like a move just to be like, look, see, Mayu Iwatani's here, she's ours, she's not going to All Elite, because there were all of those rumors, and that's what it felt like to me, and I feel like now we reverse that and put the title back on Kelly Klein.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mayu Iwatani though. I think she retains in the Garden. Now, the next one is a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, so the Bully Ray Open Challenge
Has been answered.
for a New York City street fight. It's been answered. You want to tell us who answered that one?
Yeah. Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson versus Bully Ray in a New York City street fight. However, pump your brakes. I don't know this is going to be just a one-on-one. I feel there's going to be a third man entered into this.
Who?
Minoru Suzuki.
Who?
There's,
Not one of the New Day then. Minoru Suzuki. Why do you think Minoru Suzuki?
there's just been a little bit of, when I'm trying to do some translations, Twitter translation is pretty terrible. Just been seeing some tweets been retweeted from one of my favorite New Japan fans in Arum. How do you say it?
A room. Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
And he was retweeting a couple of things from Suzuki Tay. It sounds like he still kind of made it sound like he didn't say any names. It kind of looked like he was still after Bully Ray in a way. So I'd like to see if maybe he takes out Juice beforehand. This should have been Bully versus Minoru. this should have been Suzuki. I love Juice Robinson without a doubt. I mean, I know Juice Robinson is a lifeblood guy for Ring of Honor, and I guess there's no representation of lifeblood on the show other than now Juice. Bandito's in later. But yeah, I don't know. If Bully Ray Beeson, does he get a IWGP US title shot? I mean, do you really want that? I don't know. If Juice wins, is it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Juice Robinson answering the challenge. Like we said, the fact that Suzuki is not on the biggest New Japan card in America, the fact that he's not just going to come out there and kick someone's ass in the Madison Square Garden is a bit frustrating. Yeah. And so I would like to see him somehow end up in this match, but it just doesn't feel like a Ring of Honor New Japan thing to do.
No.
You know?
I know. Well, I'd say there's 3 names that should have been in there before Juice. There's a few, but 3, Minoru Suzuki, Hiroki Goto, or Tomohiro Ishii. They're the 3 that I felt should have been facing Bully Ray this show. But yeah, Bully Ray is a perfect New York City street fight guy. That's going to be what it is. A couple of tables, a couple of garbage cans, a little bit of shit. Juice is a fantastic talent, deserves his own IWGP US title match. Should have been on his fucking card. It's the US title at the freaking US, in the US.
Yeah, I said that last week, right? How is there no US title on the G1 Supercard? It's the biggest show in the US.
These 2 deserve a match. I know Bully Ray's, older guy, and he doesn't need to be on cards like this anymore, but it is MSG, it is Ring of Honor. Bully Ray is a New York boy. It's fair enough. They should have had their own match each. Juice versus, I don't know, someone for the US match. Not that Juice versus Chase is MSG worthy, but should have been something more. But it is what it is.
Yeah, moving on. We have the match of the night. Taiji Ishimori, Dragon Lee, Bandito. Holy crap.
Now, this is where the night picks up. Those Will Ospreay Cobb is going to be fantastic. Next 3, take a pick. You can sort of roll. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches are just ham. This kicks it off. Ishimori, Dragon Lee, Bandito. Holy fuck. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this.
This match, I feel like this match steals the show. I really do. It's a 3-way match. IWGP Heavyweight Championship on the line. I think Taiji Ishimori might lose it here. I know you've said for a few weeks now you think Dragon Lee walks out. I think Bandito walks out.
Yeah. Well, Bandito is an interesting one because I know he's now a full Ring of Honor guy, but Bandito has never touched the New Japan ring in his life. So him taking the IWGP title without even stepping foot inside Japanese ring, a New Japan ring. Sorry, he's done Dragon Gate. Anyway, it's be very interesting. Dragon Lee, on the other hand, is the old Dragon Lee was the IWGP title champion. The character of Dragon Lee has once won a title. He's got 2 CMLL titles, one that he won 14 days ago, one that he sold for 1,000+ days. My pick's Dragon Lee. And unfortunately, sorry Bullet Club, I love you, Ishimori is not walking out as champion. My pick is Dragon Lee, then Bandito, then Ishimori to retain. So, Dragon Lee for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Bandito, just because he's an absolute star, Ring of Honor are building him up to be a star. I think that New Japan will want to get in on that as well. But, I could be completely wrong. You said Dragon Lee's doing like a belt collector kind of thing, or you want him to do a belt collector thing, and that'd be pretty cool as well. So, but I feel like Taiji Ishimori walks out without the title. And I kind of wanted him to hold it until Hiromu came back, but having the title on Dragon Lee for Hiromu makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, you got best of Super Juniors around the corner. Nearly 2 months away till that starts. So whoever takes this title now should hold it until then. I imagine so. Yeah, I imagine till then. And then whoever wins Best of Super Juniors, I think Hiromu will be back for Best of Super Juniors. And Hiromu wins that. And then faces either Dragon Lee or Ishimori, I guess. But yeah, I want to see Dragon Lee Hiromu. I think there'll be some storytelling there for sure.
Yeah. Moving on, the tag team title match that everyone's talking about. Gorillas of Destiny, Villain Enterprises, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Evil and Sonata, of course, and the Briscoe Brothers. 4-way tag team match. Winner takes all for both the IWGP Tag Team and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. I don't even know where to start. Obviously, this started in New Japan. It was supposed to be just Gorillas of Destiny and Briscoe Brothers. It started when they had the Honor Rising tour over there in Japan. It was supposed to just be the two teams. Of course, they lost the titles. And so the Briscoe Brothers lost the titles to Villain Enterprises. And then somehow it became a Fatal 4, which I picked that, by the way. Yeah. I said, add LIJ, add the Briscoes, and we get a Fatal 4-way match. I picked it. Get your shit in. Get everyone on the card. But again, this is I just cannot pick winners on this card. There's a lot of ways this could go because it's interpromotional. It's hard to know what they're going to do with the titles, what the politics are going to be. I have no idea who's going to win here. I would like to see LIJ walk out with the titles. I feel like they're the best team for both companies, but Villain Enterprises are a solid pick as well.
Yeah, I mean PC like similar to the Ishimori Dragon Lee Bandito match. PCO and Brody King, two guys. I don't know about the PCO's past. I don't think PCO or Brody King has ever stepped foot in a New Japan ring in Japan. Oh, maybe were they there on a Rising?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel it'd be weird.
I feel like they were there. Hang on. Oh man, I watch way too much wrestling. I'd have to go back in my notes. I think they were there.
Were they there or were they in the New Beginning US shows? Anyway, I feel it kind of feels weird for Brody King and PCO to be holding the IWGP title in any way, shape, or form.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just feels not weird, but just like they're not exactly crossover IWGP Ring of Honor guys. Like they're not so crossover yet. The other three teams they have been. LIJ have done a lot in Ring of Honor. Gorillas of Destiny a little bit, but still have Briscoes have held both titles. So the other three teams are experienced with these titles, and it kind of just feels right with one of those teams walking out with both. It's weird. I just feel weird with PCO and Brody King on the IWGP tag straps without really, I don't know, doing anything in Japan. Kind of like Bandito. It's like, does he deserve a IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match without even doing even a freaking Best of Super Juniors ever? Like, Robbie Eagles has done more in Japan than Bandito has. New Japan.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I do. I don't know. I feel like the way they've been built, I'm just looking at the builds on the teams. But, I mean, any one of these teams, they're all big teams. So I can't pick it. But if I have to pick, I'm going to go with LIJ.
Okay. If I'm going to pick, I'm going to go with Gorillas of Destiny. I'm going to go with Tama and taking out the Bullet Club, walking out with both their shots.
See, they don't do a lot in Ring of Honor, though. See? So it's confusing, man. This show is confusing as hell.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, OUTBREAK NUTRITION. OUTBREAK NUTRITION are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at OUTBREAK NUTRITION. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out OUTBREAKNutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, OUTBREAKNutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout. Moving on, Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroshi Tanahashi, singles match for the British Heavyweight Championship. So Zack Sabre Jr. is going to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi in the Garden.
Do you say he's going to beat him?
Yeah.
No.
He's got to,
No.
right? You think Tanahashi's going to walk out the British heavyweight champion? What a twist.
Absolutely, I do. I think Tanahashi is 100% playing air guitar at the end of the match inside of Madison Square Garden.
I mean, you'd think that's the way they'd book it, but it's for the RPW title. This is, man, it's confusing.
A good thing that we have a card that we just can't pick. That makes a real wrestling card. That makes it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I'm very much looking forward to this show.
Tanahashi, for me, 100% similar to the main event when we get to it, is walking out of MSG. Tanahashi is one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the greatest British wrestlers of all time too. But Tanahashi is probably in the top 5, top 10 of all time from Japan. And he's 100% walking out of the first ever MSG show that he's wrestling on as a champion. I mean, it should have been a IC or something like that. But he's walking out with the British heavyweight title. Because they've got that Queen's Quest. Is it Queen's Quest or Royal Quest?
Queen's Quest coming up. Yeah, Queen's Quest.
I think Tanahashi holds it until then.
Yeah, I guess that could make sense.
Yeah.
But then who takes it off Tanahashi in England?
Yeah, Zach could take it back off him.
Take it back
Will
off
versus Tanahashi over there. There's a couple of options. I don't.
Could have Park versus Tanahashi.
No, I don't think All Elite New Japan are going to allow that, but for a title.
Well, I mean, no, but he's working with RevPro as well, so
you can see
things are confused. Wrestling in 2019 is weird.
Yeah,
it's so fucking
it
weird.
Is weird. And don't forget, because there is a big RevPro show on this weekend, which this is obviously the thing. There is a big RevPro.
We should have been talking about it, but we just didn't have time. We didn't have time with all the things that we got doing this week. We didn't have time, so. Who knows? Who knows what the landscape is going to look like? But we move on. We move on. Tetsuya Naito, Kota Ibushi, singles match for the Intercontinental Championship. Naito retains.
My heart says yes, but maybe my head says no because I know Kota. I thought he was actually going to be in the freaking title match. To be honest, the heavyweight title match at one point. Yeah. I'm going to stick with my heart and say Naito retains. God, it's such a good Ingo Bonavle's representation on this card. Rush,
everyone.
Rush, Evil, Sonata, Naito, love it.
Everyone. So obviously this match does stem from the New Japan Cup. We talked about it last week. The eliminations there have set up some title matches like the Zack Sabre Jr. match like this one here. And but I think Naito retains. And then we move on to the 2 world title matches. Now, which one do you think main events the Garden? Do you think Ring of Honor main events or do you think IWGP main events? Because Jay Lethal's been going around calling himself the first person to Ring of Honor have been calling him the first person to headline the Garden who's not a WWE guy in 60 years, right? So, are they going on last?
No. Because... without spoiling what my pick is for the next one. No, IWGP title should be unmasked.
I agree. It feels like the bigger title.
They're saying that. I didn't know that. Maybe he does, but it shouldn't.
I feel like if Jay White is going to win, then Jay Lethal closes the show winning the Ring of Honor title or retaining the Ring of Honor title. Yeah. If Kazuchika Okada is going to win, then that has to headline.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it at last week's cast. So my 2 picks, actually, I wonder. So I'm still on the rope with the 3-way. I haven't made a decision. I know who's winning the main event.
I want Matt Taven. I want Matt Taven to win it, but he won't. I think Jay Lethal will retain. I don't know. I feel like depending on who, when after the Naito and Ibushi match finishes, whoever's music hits next, if the next music to hit is Okada coming out to challenge, then we know Okada's losing.
Yeah.
Right? If the next music is Matt Taven coming out to challenge, then we know that Okada's winning the main event. So it kind of ruins it either way.
Yeah, in a way, because I was kind of thinking that Marty is actually really dark. Sorry, let's do that again. I really felt that Marty Skrull is a interesting pick in this. Everyone's either saying Lethal or Taven. People are saying, but Marty is Marty fucking Skrull. I know there's all the contract talk and all that. There's still a couple of months away. I thought it was May. From the look of it, it's September. Marty could easily walk out of here as a champ. I mean, to be honest, he's probably one of the most well-known Ring of Honor guys now in terms of fandom. He could walk out of the Garden as a champ, which I don't think both main event titles are going to change. So if Marty did win, then Jay would retain. So
right,
I'm going to go with Lethal retaining, Carter winning.
Okay, I'm going to go with Lethal retaining and Jay White retaining.
True.
And Lethal headlining, because that's what Ring of Honor have said, that he's the first man to headline. And it just feels weird. It's so hard to call, but that's how I have it. Now, what match do you think steals the show? Because I'm still on the Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, Junior Heavyweight or potentially Ospreay Cobb is a match show stealer. Then again, NATO and Coda, they went ham in the cup. They could go even more ham being inside the fucking Madison Square Garden. But yeah, the triple threat, IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. This is the most mouth-watering Junior Heavyweight title match I've ever seen on a card. Like 3 fucking amazing guys. Yeah. So I just want to hear if Okada wins. I want to see the show. I know it's been done 1,000 times at Wrestle Kingdoms, but for Madison Square Garden, I just want to hear that Rainmaker drop. The pin drop of the sound like the coins dropping and stuff like that, and the notes floating down as you're coming off Madison Square Garden. I just think that suits Okada. I don't know, and I think Okada's going to go for another lengthy reign. Not huge, but I think it'll be another lengthy reign. Just adds to his legacy. But yeah, Ishimori, Dragon Lee, Bandito for match of the night for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And that does it, I guess. That's the G1 Supercard. Looking forward to it. Big WrestleMania weekend. We've got lots of shows coming out, so we'll leave it there, guys. Where can people find you, Big Boy?
You can find me at B+_ _ Is it Big Boy _ B+? No. It's at...
You don't even know. You change it so much that you don't even fucking know what it is anymore. You can find him at B+ _ Big Boy on Twitter. You can find me at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And thank you so much for listening.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not done with this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold 2. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy. Hold 3. The moss covered.